The Queen is dead, and we are now a step closer to the next catastrophe as portrayed in the Economist magazine. You have 7 pictures. 7 is G, the G of Freemasonry, all-seeing eye clock, shaped in a pyramid. You have the ducks of Coronation Street. The dead duck symbolises that the Queen has died and that these events are next on the agenda. You have the crown bug. You have a nuclear explosion. This looks like it's going to be the nuclear power plant in Ukraine. You have the solar mass ejection, which comes from the sun's corona, crown. Everything's to do with the crown. What will happen to the crown? What will be the future of it? You have the meteor, which I believe is coming soon. You have what looks like La Palma, which will raise the sea level, which will cause a tsunami. You have the pig. Maybe it has to do with the banks, the body parts, or it could have a religious connection. Now, you have the gas masks. These gas masks in the Soviet Union are called monkey masks. These are to do with the monkey magic, which comes from the potion. He took the potion the least, this generation. He has no mask, but he has to go to war. It's all to do with the crown. And they are going to create these events in order to create a new age. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to use man-made, so-called natural disasters to trim the herd. And this event is coming closer now. And it will probably happen, the first ones will probably happen in a couple of months. Now, Prince Charles has been called Prince Charles III. Now, Prince Charles is going to have trouble with the crown. The British crown is the crown of Solomon. It is a Masonic crown. When the monarch is being coronated with the crown, they take part in a secret ritual where they are anointed with the music of Zadok the priest, who was the priest of the Temple of Solomon. They are anointed in a secret ritual during the coronation, the monarch. Now that coronation won't be for at least a year. And Charles is going to have trouble being king. And you're going to have a lot of problems in society. And this is all being generated so that we go into a new age. Now, what is interesting is Boris Johnson's comment on the Queen after her death. And I've said that through predictive program, through the mentioning of waves and tsunamis in the media, so you had first wave, second wave, third wave, you had the crown bug. It's all to do with the crown, all to do with this transition into this new age. Boris Johnson talks about the 7 decades of her rule. 7 is the G of Freemasonry. So in this next catastrophe cover, you have 7 pictures. That is the G of Freemasonry. You have the dead ducks, the dead duck from Coronation Street. So the Queen has just died, so these events are closer. Here you have the G of Freemasonry and the square and compass, the duality, and then the G, the 7. So the duality it is like the as above, so below. So they believe in the two aspects unified create the synthesis. So you have the sun and the moon, and then you have the G in between the two pillars. So you have the G, the two pillars, 7, 11. Like on 9/11, the Twin Towers went down, and Building 7, the Solomon building, also went down. 7/11. So the Queen has died in her 70th year. You do not count the 0 in numerology, so that's 7. G of Freemasonry. Now, Boris Johnson says this. So he says that wave after wave of grief is rolling across the world from Balmoral, where our thoughts are with all the royal family, and breaking far beyond this country throughout the great Commonwealth of Nations that she's so cherished and which cherished her in return. So Boris Johnson, in his final tribute to the Queen, talks about wave after wave of grief rolling across the world. This relates to the tsunami event which will be caused by this meteor or La Palma, which will be man-made. And again, Boris Johnson just cannot help himself referring to it again in his last tribute to the Queen. So we are now a step closer to this coming true. And what's funny is that you have all these news presenters crying on the TV, like on Talk TV, Piers Morgan crying, and these same people mock North Korea. It's exactly the same. Okay, thank you.